Okay, so my mom just came up with a really good idea. She has this little pillow stand that I can use to hold my tablet up, so I don't have to hold it up while cleaning my gun. Anyways, now I can continue recording. Thank you, Mom. Anyway, we have the bore being cleaned right now. This is the third pad that I'm using. Gotta get really good in there. So I got my finger way back here by the trigger. What that's gonna do is it's gonna clean up any residue or anything that is by the trigger well, and also lube up the trigger. So the springs and everything inside the trigger can be free to move. I just hope I have enough storage on my tablet. But just keep going at this here. And once the pads come out clean after I rub the inside down, I will know the gun is clean and it should be lubricated too. And if it's not, then I will pour a few drops of oil inside as well and try to rub more of it with the pad. Of course, I would use a new pad because I don't need the dirt and crap to get inside the gun again. So I'm going to grab another pad, pop over my gun oil, drop, 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 just a few drops, you don't need that much. Rub it around there a little bit, try to spread it on the pad. You're going to get some on your hands. Like many things, you are going to get stuff on your hands. It's all in the day's work. Just keep rubbing that pad all around the inside of the chamber case, making sure you get every nook and cranny, so everything gets nice and lubricated and clean. And that's also another good reason why you have to get back here, because your receiver slides back in there when you pump the gun. So that will help it relieve some possible scratches that could be obtained inside the chamber from the metal scraping. It'll lubricate it up nice and good. And the pad is starting to come out cleaner and cleaner. I know it's hard to tell from the oil, but it is getting cleaner. And I want to make sure, oops, these springs inside your catcher are good and lubricated too, so they don't get sticky. Because what can happen is either gunpowder, unburnt gunpowder, dirt can get up inside the inside of the gun, get caught in the springs of your catcher, and cause that to get stuck. So that's obviously no bueno. So what I do is keep grabbing another pad, and we are going to continue to do this until the gun is clean. Drop it. Spin it around. Get it all nice and lubricated. Get rid of the cloth, get rid of the extra cloth so it's not getting caught inside the gun. Because these things are pretty fragile and they tend to fall apart easily. So you want to make sure that you don't have any cloth or anything inside the gun. You won't have to worry, obviously you won't have to worry about it catching fire or nothing, because once the chamber assembly is back in, or once that's back in, then it seals the gun off when the shot goes clearly, because otherwise you'd have explosion every time in your hands. It's just taking a bit longer than expected, so I will be back, because I don't know how much storage is on my tablet. Now, as you're gonna see, there's gonna be some really rough crevices inside a gun that it's gonna be difficult to get to. Like if you look inside the gun, you can see this, and there's little crevices that makes it really difficult to get to. But the more you work at it, the more she goes, the better she'll shoot. And as you can see, the pad is coming out more and more clean with each pass. So I have used at least 7 or 8 pads to clean it, and it's going to take a lot, but once you get it done, she'll be good as new. Now you can't be too careless when it comes to cleaning a gun, as many knows, because if you are, because really all it takes for a gun to jam, it could take one speck of dirt, could take whatever you missed in that gun, could mean bad. It could be very bad. So you always want to make sure that when you're cleaning a gun, you do it until you know it's clean. So that way you know every spot inside the gun is well lubricated and clean, so you don't have to worry about jams, malfunctions, anything of the sort. You'll know that when you are done cleaning your gun, that it will fire good, it will eject good, it will reload another shot good, and it'll be better than it was. That's what I was trying to say. It'll be better than it was. Can't make it perfect all the time, but you gotta make sure you get it as close to perfect as you can, because that one little speck, that one spot could make a difference. So you can say, oh well, I've been sitting here cleaning this gun for about a half hour now, or an hour, doing the same spot. It should be clean, right? I mean, it's not that bad. Well, it could be that bad. There could be a spot you missed. There could be a spot that wasn't fully clean. You just keep putting some oil on these pads here, and into the chamber until you know that that pad is going to come out clean and the gun is clean. As you can see, my pad has come out clean for the most part. So the inside of the gun is clean. The chamber is all clean, well lubricated. So now when I put her back together, she will be ready. She will be all nice and lubricated. So I won't have to worry about that. Now you're going to want to do the same thing to your receiver. You're going to want to have this popped up a little bit. Take your pad and some gun oil and just clean around all that. Do you see that? That's no good. Cannot have that in the gun. That is dirt, burnt, and unburnt gunpowder that could cause this to malfunction, which is what we don't want. So I'm going to do that real quick and I'll be right back. This is what you don't want. This was inside the receiver. I rubbed around inside the receiver a little bit and all that black stuff comes out. That's burnt, unburnt, gunpowder, dirt, rust. And that's why you have to keep your gun well lubricated. Because if you don't, and water gets down inside the gun's chamber or inside the barrel, it could rust. And rust leads to jams, leads to malfunctions, leads to possible injuries, which is something that nobody in this world wants to get injured. Even though it will happen sooner or later. It's best not to do it while trying to shoot a gun. If you get hurt when you're shooting a gun, the gun backfires, then that could be fatal, to say the least. Now, when I'm cleaning this receiver, the inside of the chamber, I go through every spot of each part at least 10 times, at least 5 times, a good 5 times, just to make sure that anything or everything is gone. Because I don't want to be stupid about it. If I am, it could cause a lot of issues. Alright, so as y'all can see, as I run my cloth through the receiver, that it comes out clean. So that means that the receiver is well lubricated and clean. There you go. Alright, so up next we are going to be lubricating our pump. This is where our receiver connects to. And we're going to want to lube this up good and well too. And make sure that's clean. So that way we can, yeah, as you can see, that just came off our pump. And we want to make sure that's all clean. Because if it's not, then, as I said before, could be a mess. I was going to say I'll be back, but it won't take me long, so I'm just going to do it anyways. So we're going to take our little cloth we have here, take a couple drops of this good old Hops 9, little drop, drop. This part we don't need a lot for, so we're just going to do one, hopefully. It's already got some good lube on it, and we're just going to clean it up nice and good, and that's what we don't want, is all that crap stuffed into the crevices of our gun. So we're going to keep on with that. Just rub it up and down. Don't take that out of context. Or do, whatever. Make it as out of context as you want. It's YouTube. I can't stop you. I'm going to take a dry cloth to get rid of some of that old oil and continue to clean it up. And then I will take another cloth with some more oil. And yes, I know I did just have a pad that had oil on it. Now I'm wiping the oil off, but that's okay. So I will use some more to lube it back up. You gotta treat your guns like you treat your women. You can't have enough lube. Because if you keep it to where she's dry, it's gonna be a rough ride. But if she's all nice and lubed up, it'll go smooth as can be. And yes, I can take this off of this too, like that. So now it's even more disassembled, which I didn't have to take this off, but I can because I don't have a pin in it. That's all it does, is it slides on there, kind of snaps in there. So I can clean that up and lube that up too. As you can see, I have a big bundle of cloths at this point, which some gun enthusiasts might say, oh well, I only use 2 or 3 of these little pads to clean my guns. Well, I'm not you, okay? We're just gonna say that. I ain't you. I'm not. I grew up around guns, but I never cleaned them that much growing up. To be honest with you, this is about the second time I've cleaned this gun since I found it. And I've had it for a few years, but I just haven't shot it that much. I still have the original box of shells that I bought when I got the gun. Because with hunting season around and everything else, I just don't shoot it that much. Plus, I don't really have a lot of time to shoot it as much as I would like. And I don't really have the money to keep buying shells for the gun either, so it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Nothing I can do about it. But as you can see, this is very dirty. But that is because the receiver was sitting on top of it. And the receiver was very dirty as well because of how much burnt up gunpowder, unburnt gunpowder, dirt, dust, possible rust was on the receiver. Also got onto our arm for the pump. So when a pad gets about to that, I don't really like to use it anymore because I'm basically just rubbing the parts of the gun with the shit that I'm trying to get off the gun. So I don't like doing that. That's why when one of those pads gets that bad, then I just grab a new one. And I am running low on pads, at least these pads, but that's fine. I can always get more when I get the money, if I get the money. And yes, I know it's awkward that I keep staring at the camera. I just want to make sure it's still recording. See? All that shit still on the gun. No good. No good at all. Let me make sure that gets off. For and I would love to fire this gun, but since it's so close to hunting season, I will not be able to fire the gun this video. I probably won't actually be able to fire the gun until hunting season up here is over. So that's unfortunate, I know, but she will be shot again. And I just want to clean her so that if I can go hunting, then I have her. That's why I'm doing this. Plus, I do love doing this because when you are cleaning a gun, not only is it teaching you how to disassemble a gun and reassemble it, it's getting you closer to the gun within each time you do it. And that sounds kind of corny, I know, but I love being close to what I care about. Because when I'm away from it, there's a hole in my soul. Or whatever. To the point, right now, I'm losing my train of thought because I'm running out of ideas of what to talk about now. So I'm just gonna keep doing this and maybe do a time lapse until the gun, this part of the gun is clean. And then I will move on to the barrel. Matter of fact, I really don't know how much time I have left on my tablet, so I will be back when this is clean, and then we'll move on to the barrel, and then we will reassemble the gun and kind of test it out. I'll be back.